Hey everyone, my name is Joshua. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to tie the square lashing and kind of what it does. So first we'll start off with what is a lashing. So a lashing is kind of like a knot, but a little bit harder to tie and more of a permanent thing. So a lashing can be used to maybe tie up a structure, maybe like a lean-to or anything like that, to keep a structure or something more permanent. Whereas a knot you could use to tie up a clothesline with a simple 2 half hitches or a taut line hitch, and you could take it down the next day easy peasy. So in order to start this square lashing, what you'll need to do is you'll tie the clove hitch, which you can see how to tie in PD's video. But basically what you'll do is you'll take one end of your rope. You don't need a lot of slack, but you'll cross it and you'll make yourself an X. And we call this the treasure knot because basically what you'll do is you'll go underneath the X like you're digging for treasure, up out both ends. You want to make this knot very tight, and you also want to make it more towards the center of the pole that you're using. Bear in mind that this lashing is designed to support weight, so having it at a cross beam, maybe that is like holding weight, maybe on like a structure, is what this lashing is mainly used for. So then once you have your clove hitch tied onto your first beam, then what you'll do is you'll take your second beam and you can put it or have it resting on something. I'm using my legs in this case. And then, as you can see with this clove hitch, the rope naturally wants to go down like that. So I will keep the rope going that way, and we will start what we call the up and over pattern. So I will bring the rope under this log and then up, if you can see that, up and over this log. This log on the top, I will always be going over that, and then this log on the bottom, I will always be going under it. So then we'll go it again. We will go under this one on this opposite side that I started on. Make sure you pull all your rope through. Make sure you're keeping it super tight as well. You can even hear the rope make a little bit of noises, and that means that you're pulling it tight. And then you do the same thing again. One thing that you want to make sure is that you're keeping your rope in line with kind of where the logs intersect. You can even keep them a little bit more centered, because if you have them out farther than when you push them together at the end, that can cause it to loosen and lose a lot of the tension that you've been keeping. So we'll do this again. The phrase that we like to use so that you can remember how many times you need to do this is actually called a wrap. So we call it a wrap because you're basically wrapping around the beams. So the phrase we have is 3 wraps, 3 fraps. We'll get to fraps later, but this is my second wrap. As you can see, I keep having the same pattern. So we'll keep that tension, and then we'll go under this one, keeping it tight and keeping it centered. Make sure you don't overlap any of the rope. So if I were to like do this, that wouldn't be right. I would like to stay on the outside, moving my way towards the outside. And we'll go with that over-under pattern. So over again. And then just like that. You see how now I have 3 ropes there? And then I need to finish this one here because this is my clove hitch, and my 3 types from tying it are right there. Then we will keep going with that. Now I'm back to where I started. Now one thing that you can do is now you need to start your fraps. The fraps are what make or break your lashing. You need to make sure that your fraps are really tight. So one thing that I do, and is smart to do, is now that you've finished it, you can turn back on itself just so that you can keep that tension. And then the fraps, what you're going to do is you wrap around the middle of your lashing. So what I'm going to do is, you see where I'm going? You wrap around the center, keeping that really tight. Very simple. Just continuing around just like that. So 3 wraps and now 3 fraps, keeping it really tight. One thing you can do is just put all of your body weight into that, keeping it really tight. And then do that 3 times. Make sure that when you do these fraps, that you're not like stacking them on top of each other as much, because then you can lose a little bit of that tension when they let's say that you, I don't know, are moving this and some of the tension like breaks, then the ropes can fall off of each other and you lose some of that tension. and losing tension in your lashings is something that you really never want to happen. So I keep going around that center, and I'm on my third one now. So now we can see that I have three wraps there, or 3 fraps there. So then the only thing I have to remember is, where did I put my original clove hitch? I put my original clove hitch right here on this log. So one thing that's it's easy to remember, you need to put your other clove hitch on the other log. It's just something that keeps it, in case anything happens where it could come undone, that at least you have 2 securings, or 2 ways of securing your rope onto each separate beam. So I put my other one on this side. It really doesn't matter which side you do it on, but since my third frap is ending right here, I'm just going to simply bring it around, and making sure that I keep my clove hitch close to the lash itself, because if not, if I tie the clove hitch all the way out here, all that extra slack, I could easily push the knot in and it would lose all the tension right away. So I'm just going to tie my clove hitch here, keeping all of my tension tight by holding the rope there, making sure that I still have the place for my clove hitch. Bring it under. Making sure that I can bring it close. And then you want to make sure that you have at least amount of extra rope around it. So I'm going to bring this knot back around while keeping it tight as well. And then what I'll do is I will basically pull my slack through the knot and not as much of a fast as it is quick motion. So just like little by little, and then eventually pull the knot tight, and then voila, there you have a square lash. As you can see, it can bend a little bit, but it supports weight hard, and there you have a square lashing.